Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. And we have officially gone below $40,000. It's a psychological number, and we are below it. Next target. What is the next target? It's right here. It's the 100-week moving average. It's at about 35.9. Now, it's gone up since we've been down this below a couple, now it's months ago, right? Like in January when we went down there, we would definitely be there now. Same with in February. In March, we didn't do anything like that. Now in April, we're definitely going to go down here. The question is, are we going to bounce off here of this line, or are we going to, bounce off and come this way, or are we going to break through? If we break through, if we break through this 100-week moving average, let's go back in time and see what happens. All right, no one needs to get flustered. Let's go back in time and see what. Now, what do we know so far about closing below the 50-week moving average, which is this pink? Let me just change the color of this line because I don't think it's a great color. It's not even pink. It's not like any clear color. Can't be red, it can't be blue, so we can make it green. Yeah, we can make it green. Okay, it's this dark green. Oh, it might be too dark. If it's no, that's pretty hard to see as well. Well, oh boy, why is it so hard? Okay, purple line. There we go, purple. We got a purple line. Opacity. Okay, well, we'll leave it here. This is fine. Okay, so a purple line's 50-week moving average. Now, what do we know about the 50-week moving average? I've made a couple videos about this. If you close below the 50-week moving average, you go and touch the 200-week moving average every single time. Right here, we closed one time below it. One time. We went above it, and then we spiked. We went all the way down to the two. Actually, this is the 300. We went all the way down to the 300-week moving average, but we touched the 200, right? The same case back here. We closed below the 50, which is now this purple line. We closed below it, and we went all the way down to the 200. We eventually did. Now, there's another thing that's very interesting. If you close below the 100-week moving average, this dark blue line here, you touch the 200-week every single time, right? No ifs, ands, or buts. If you close below it, and you actually didn't hear, but this was a free, I have to say, this entire thing right here was the COVID 2020 thing. And if you bought here, what a deal it was, right? If you had been able to buy $3,000, wow, what a range you would have hit up here. If you were able to hold on, you would have just absolutely knocked it out of the park. But this was a bit of an anomaly because you just went straight down. You passed and closed and went. This is the same day, the same week. All of this happened. So you can imagine how wild that was. If we switch to the daily, well, I like to look at weekly candles because we are really looking at the macro trends here, right? We're not looking at the micro trends. Because we want to know if or when we're going to hit this 200-week moving average. And I think we're going to hit it sooner than later. The reason is all the things that need to happen for us to hit it are happening, right? We've closed below the 50-week, which is this dark blue line. We are, and you can see now, check this out. So you broke below, you got up above the bull market support band, which is a red and green line, this band. Then you got pushed down below again. You tried to break up, you got pushed down low again. And so you see that you're making new lows every time. You try to break up above, and you make another low. Another low, and you're getting pushed here, and this is like it's some sort of wedge that's happening here. I don't know what this is, but it's some kind of wedge, right? And that just broke it down. And once you close below this 100, it's over. The game is over. And I think this happens further back as well, right? This definitely happens further back. Like if you see it over here, like these moving averages, once you close below the 100, you're going down to the 200, which is actually extended down this way. It's absurd. So the 50 is like the early indicator. I'm still, and I believe it. It's this purple line. If you close below the 50, expect to go down to the 200. If you close below the 100, for sure you're going down to the 200. Pretty much historically. Now we can't be super deterministic because this is Bitcoin and it's like this completely wild market. It's the wild, wild west, right? But this is what I think is going to happen. Now let's see what momentum actually turns out. And let's see if we actually do break through the 100. I would not be surprised, though, if we did break through. And I would not be surprised if we had at least a spike all the way down and then bounced right back up, like really powerfully, kind of like this, like boom, like we just shot up, right? And then it was just all to the moon from there, basically, right? We went straight up. We didn't take a second. And same over here. Once we hit the 200 week, it's going, man. It's like on fire. Let's go. There's no time to chill. It's over. You know what I mean? Like it's like the blast off has begun. So that's important to realize. Like here was 3,000, then here was 5,000. So like, you know, there was definitely a scare there, right? You going all the way down, and you almost went as low as that previous time, which was absolutely wild. What an opportunity that was. I remember someone telling me about Bitcoin somewhere around here. I think it was around 20K or something, and I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna ignore this. Like Bitcoin, whatever, dude. But in fact, I met that he was a plumber at my place, and he was talking about Bitcoin. I was like, I just dismissed it. It was really wild. I shouldn't have, obviously, but what an opportunity. At 20K Bitcoin would have been wild. I mean, if we can get at 25K, 20K Bitcoin now, it would be a bargain of a lifetime. But then it was just like 20K Bitcoin. Yeah, whatever, dude. It was really absurd. I think it was like probably like summer. I don't know when it was. Yeah, it was like somewhere around here. Ooh, I hope it wasn't. Damn, that's terrible. I hope it wasn't that. Anyways, this is what I think is happening. Let's see what happens. But we are understand that we are now below 40,000 here, right? We're below 40,000, and ETH is trading below 3,000 now, so that's not a good sign. We're below the bull market support band. We're below the 50-week moving average. It's, you know, we're going down. The Nasdaq's also coming down, and it's likely for us, all of us, to, you know, have some downside. Let's see what my TSLA position's doing. Are we still up around 1,000? Because I know there was a stock split or whatever it was. No, we're at 840. What are we at? Oh, 97. Okay, cool. Well, you know, we'll see. I guess. No, cancel. Okay. Well, this is it. That's all I got to say. But let's quickly check out and see what the futures are saying. Yeah, sleep site. Okay, big inflation report coming out tomorrow. That's interesting. Futures are looking down. That's not good. This is definitely not good. If COVID is surging in Shanghai, that means we're probably going to have another lockdown over here, and that's going to screw a lot of us. And we can expect some pretty big downside for a lot of things. And Russia is also an interesting, you know, the ruble. I definitely advise people not to get the ruble a little while ago. I was like, listen, don't play the ruble. It's going to be a bad bet. I made a TikTok video about it, because if you look at it, it went from like, let's see if I can pull this up for you. So it was, I think it was 2010 was when they invaded Crimea. And then 2014, they took over. Actually, yeah, you can actually track it here. So this big drop here was their attack on Crimea. Then this drop was their attack on, you know what, I don't remember, 2014. I don't remember what they did, but essentially they've recovered, right? If you look at the chart, they're back to essentially what pre-war. Like they went down. They went from 0.16. They went all the way down to 0.10, and now they've recovered to 0.16, 0.15 today. Good for them. Now, this is all, of course, manipulation. It's like phenomenally, you know, different out there from what it is out here. So, you know, you can't really trust it. Capital controls, that's what it really is. It's a lot of capital controls. So they've scrapped some of their capital controls now, but the Russia strong ruble is not a sign that it's winning the sanctions war. And this is an important indicator, because this is really a politics thing, right? What they're doing here. But let's wait and see. I'm pretty sure, you know, I don't think they're gonna pull through. Unfortunately, I don't. I mean, it was a huge bet, and I think we talked about it briefly, right? Like why Russia needs to do what it's doing, but yeah, it's just the way it is. But I mean, like geopolitically, they're just in a place where they need to get that. They need to get that land, right? They're like, if we just pull up a map of Europe, let's see. This is gonna be a map of Europe. Oh no. Okay, maybe this. This is these mountains right here are very, very important. I think these are, I always confuse them with the Ural Mountains, which is a little creepy to me. I like the Ural Mountains, but the Caspians, I believe. It's no, it's not the Caspian. What is this? What's here? What is this? Wow, this is wild. You could just go down and see what this looks like. Yo, that is wild. Look at this. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This mountainscape is, you can see that there's a mountainscape here, so it's super important. The reason is right now Russia needs to defend this massive border all the way through here. It's this flat land, as you can see by the topography, right? It's light green, so it's all flat grassland, and this darker stuff is mountainous. So Belarus is a friend, but this stuff up here, they're not friendly, right? Belarus is a friend, so it has some buffer, but all of Ukraine is a giant pain in the butt. So what Russia needs to do is take over all of Ukraine, and then they have this gap. I believe this is the Vassarabian gap. I'm not sure. And then this gap, right? They need to cover this. So the game plan here would be to take over Ukraine, and you can hold it here. You have to take over Moldova. Eventually, you have to do Romania as well, and then plug this gap. And then eventually you actually need to take over Poland because this gap really closes up here and the mountains come up here. And you can see some mountains here. And you're right up to Berlin. And that's the ideal place for Russia to be. You can kind of deal. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania are not the biggest deal in the world. But you got to go up here if you're Russia to really secure its borders. And then the gap becomes very small and you're able to hold it together. But you get the problem here, right? Poland and Romania are both EU countries. They're not gonna, they're not gonna just fall back. They're definitely gonna ask for their EU partners to jump on board and make some stuff happen. We will see. We will absolutely see. They had holes down here, but they covered them, right? They invaded Georgia. They did a bunch of things to prevent it. These mountains are now under their control, so this gap is no longer a problem. This was definitely an important thing for them to handle, Crimea, and they handled that. But this is what I think is going to happen: is all of Ukraine will be taken over, then eventually Moldova, and this might happen in another 4 years, Moldova, but I doubt it. And Romania shortly after that, and then Poland shortly after that, and that might be the start of World War III. That might be how we start World War III. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be absolutely surprised, right? This stuff is not surprising anymore. Russia's in a situation where it's like a do or die situation. It's not like a stabilized state like, say, Paris with all of its security around it. Just look at this, like water on, I mean, like, look at the United Kingdom, the perfect place, surrounded by water, no one to really worry about. Same with these. I mean, like, Germany has a little bit of concern since it's so, exposed in this direction, but, as I like to say, we will have to wait and see. Anyways, I'll chat with you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.